You want to save up $2 million bucks? 2 million, be a double millionaire? All right, how do you do it? I've got 4 ideas coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, so being a millionaire is still, what does Dave Ramsey call that? A status symbol or something like that? I mean, it's still a big milestone that if you're trying to pursue financial freedom, financial success, maybe you've thought that, I'd love to be a millionaire, and not for some boastful, prideful reasons. I know people are out there that just want that pride. No. It's financial freedom and financial peace so that you're freed up to live the life that you're truly called to, not being focused, obsessing, or whatever about finances. You save up so you've got financial freedom. That's why you need comprehensive financial planning. I could preach, but $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to, right? Thanks to all this money we've printed. No, it's not just an inflation discussion. This is $1 million doesn't quite go as far as it used to. So what's the new milestone that you should set? Well, number one, you should calculate what that is. What is your number? And I really hate those commercials that talk about retirement in that way, where you carry around your number. Now, there's so many factors. There's actually 5 factors that play into that. But let's say, just for a sort of a mental benchmark or some sort of line in the sand out there on the horizon, you want to save up 2 million. Not $1 million, save up 2 million. How do you get there? Well, there's an infinite number of ways, but I did some math, calculated 4 of them. Let's talk through it. All right, so here's one way to get to 2 million bucks. If you're going to be able to save for 30 years and you're comfortable from an investment risk standpoint to average an 8% rate of return, you need to be saving about $17,600 and some dollars. Okay, I'm rounding obviously. $17,600 and some dollars a year for 30 years, averaging about 8% rate of return. That should get you to your 2 million. Okay, fantastic. All right. Now, what if you're an overachiever? And I love that because listen, 30 years. If you're going to retire somewhere in your mid-60s, and we've already talked about, the American dream is to each generation a little bit better than the last generation. I know that's in quality of living. That doesn't mean you can work less for most of us, okay? Typically, that retirement time frame should be in that mid-60s, if not even longer, because you're living longer, okay? And it's gonna, cost more for you to live than in the past generation. So saving up for 30 years. Kevin Korhorn might say, well, that's for chumps. And okay, right? If you're trying to set a high bar, get to that 2 million number, start early. So what if you save for 40 years? What if you started saving at 25? Because you get out of college or you get right in the workforce and you take it serious and you start saving. Well, how much then? Guys, if you want to get to 2 million bucks, you got to save $7,700 a year, just about every year for 40 years, earning 8%. That's doable. That's doable, especially today where, starting salaries, depending, I don't know if you're in hospitality, I know that's very different or whatever, but you could make 40 grand coming out of college or getting started, maybe even more than that, saving $7,700, even if you include a company match in there as well. Gosh, that's doable. And then you don't even need to increase that. That's this math. $7,700 a year for 40 years at 8% gets you somewhere around that $2 million mark. Fantastic. Now, what if you say, listen, my income's going to be going up over time, or at least I would expect it to. My savings could or should be going up over time as well. I completely agree. Okay, so let's do that math again. If you wanted to get to about $2 million and you still were looking at that 30-year time horizon, so maybe got those student loans out of the way and got some, got married, had kids and whatever, and started saving at 35 and wanted to save up for 30 years until age 65, okay? If you started saving around $13,000 a year and increase that $500 a year for those 30 years, still earning that 8% or so, you'd get to about that 2 million bucks. So that's a third way of getting to that is instead of saving that 17,000 a year, like I mentioned earlier, if you started at 13,000, but increased your savings about 500 bucks a year for the next 30 years, you'd get to about that 2 million bucks. But again, what if you're that overachiever? What if you start early and you said, I got 40 years. Got 40 years to save up, and yeah, I'm starting low, I'm hustling, right? That's what you should be doing early in your career for sure. And so I might not be able to save up as much, but I'm going to be able to increase my contributions along the way. Start at $4,000. Start at $4,000 a year. Increase that amount that you're saving by $500 a year for 40 years. Get you to 2 million, get you over 2 million, okay? And so that's how you can get there, okay? There's an infinite number of ways on how to get from where you are to that double millionaire, $2 million, okay? Here's a few ideas. Get motivated. I hope this does motivate you in that right direction. So what are the takeaways? The obvious ones: start early. Start early, and I don't even know what that means for you. You're never gonna be younger than you are at this moment, because why? You can't change a moment ago. You can't change yesterday, right? So the old saying, when's the best time to plant an acorn? Well, 20 years ago, right? You'd have some shade. The second best time, right now, because obviously you can't go back 20 years and do it. So start early, even if you say, I wish I'd have started earlier. Okay, fine. Ignore those emotions and get started right now, or use those emotions and get going, okay? Get started, like I've said before, get started saving 15%. Start early, start saving 15% as a base minimum, okay? As a baseline. Second, have a tax shelter strategy. Kevin Korhorn calls this bracketology, making sure that you're using the right tax shelters. At any one of these calculations, okay, any of those 4 options, or the infinite number in between, there's going to be hopefully a lot of compound growth, okay? Hopefully the market delivers a lot of compound growth. How do you want that growth to be taxed? How do you want your contributions to be taxed? Those are big questions, okay, that either you've done a great job of keeping Uncle Sam's hands out of that 2 million bucks, or he's just going to rate it, based on laws or your activity or whatever. So work with your certified financial planner and get started making sure you're using the right tax shelters. Third takeaway, of course, do planning, comprehensive financial planning to see, well, how much do I need to save? If I saved that $17,000 a year, I wouldn't be able to help my kids with college. How do I balance those? Wait, we're actually not spending that much money. Do I really need to save that $17,000? Or I can start low, but I can increase my savings per year more than that $500. I should be able to increase it $1,000. How much do I need to have? Do all that calculating for your specific, your unique financial situation with your certified financial planner. They would love it. They're a geek. They're a geek like me. And they're going to help you figure that out. And then once you get on track, as life throws you curveballs, you'll be able to adapt your plan from there. And then finally, balance. However you define financial success, financial freedom, I'm sure there's a component of balance in there, okay? You're not just gonna eat ramen noodles forever and then caviar in retirement. You're not gonna do that. You wouldn't make it. I know folks that are frugal, and they're gonna be frugal in retirement too, right? If you're a spender, you're going to be a spender in retirement as well. So you've got to have balance, right? If you're a spender, you've got to find a way to start saving a lot, okay? Otherwise, there's going to be you're going to need to have a significant reduction in your lifestyle in retirement, or work a lot longer than you planned, and not have a lot of ability to manage risk or other changes there. So make sure you define balance. Even though these numbers might be appealing and striving for that 2 million is something that might be attractive to you, work with your certified financial planner, work with your spouse. How do you define balance? What are all of your financial goals? How do you craft a plan to accomplish as many of them as possible? Work with your CFP on that. They would love to work with you on it. And I know on my team would as well. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.